Hey guys, it's me Rohan Singh, and today I'm going to talk about strategy which will most probably get you really good marks in the board exams. Now this is a strategy which I've talked with many people about. Some of those are really good achievers in marks category. Some of the people who I've talked to about the strategy are people who get really good marks in their exams. Some of them are toppers. I've talked to them, those people, those students, about this strategy, and most of them approve of this. So this is a strategy which I guarantee will get you good marks, and by good marks I mean above 95% at least in the board exams. For math, I will make separate videos for science and Hindi, English, SST, all those different subjects a little later, so you please have patience for that. But today we're going to be talking about math only. Now I will suggest various books for this. These books are really not that hard to find, they are easy. I'll provide links to all those books in the description, which I'm going to talk about today, and I'm also going to tell you tips on how to really be efficient at revision, at understanding all the chapters, and giving you tips on how you go through this entire strategy, which I believe will get you really good marks. Now the first book which I recommend for this strategy is obviously your NCERT book. Now this is not only for class 10, this can apply even for class 9, class 8, for class 11, class 12, basically all classes. Of course the base of all mathematics of the board exams will be from the NCERT. Now this is a very important fact which most students kind of forget, I think, and that is that 70% of the questions in the board exams, or sometimes even more, come from directly from this NCERT book. So while this may seem a little useless, this book holds a lot of power. So 70% of the questions from the board exams will either be directly plucked from this book, or they may be taken and some of the values may be changed. Instead of 2 children there's 3, those minor differences which one can easily work around. So if you've learned almost all the questions of this book, then I must guarantee that you will at the very least get more than 70% in your board exams, which is basically the passing mark. And also, by saying all the questions, I don't just mean the exercises, I mean you have to do the examples also, because sometimes even the examples come and this book isn't that big at all. You can easily do the questions, so this is very easy. It is fast to do, and 70% of the paper comes from this. So if you've covered this book easily, understood the theory, done all the questions, understood how to solve them, understood the theorems, basically the basics of the NCERT board exams, this book thoroughly, like I'm telling you, doing both the exercises and the examples, understanding the theorem and basically the logic and theory of behind all this, then you pretty much have already gotten more than 70% marks already. Now for the remaining 30%, which is where the real problem comes, that is where the next books step in. NCERT exemplars. Now I've talked about this book in some of my previous videos. This is a very important book which I think many children skip on. I've talked about it, so if you want to understand this book even more, then I suggest you watch this video. It will appear over here. This book, in my opinion, is one of the best resources a person can give you. It basically has a lot of questions, and these are not easy questions at all. These are hard questions. It contains MCQs, it contains case-based questions which are very prevalent in board exams nowadays. It also contains the solutions and answers which are very well explained to all the questions which it poses. It also gives you many important questions which have been reoccurring many times in the board exams. So basically exams which appeared more than 3 or 4 times, which are basically very important questions, appear in this. It also includes MCQs as well, which are also very important. MCQs are also going to play a very vital part in the board exams from the new education policy, which basically means that conceptual learning is important here, even more so than the rote learning, which CBSE is sort of doing away with now with the new education policy. This book is also very cheap, so basically doing this will get you to at the very least 85 to 90%, because so many of the questions come from this alone. Questions which aren't in the NCERT, but questions which still come, questions which are directly from the board exams, tried and tested, important questions, high conceptual understanding. This will get you easily to 85 to 90%. These are the questions which are not from the NCERT, but these are from the board exams directly, so they are very important, and CBSE repeats many questions, you know that. So this is very important. And now of course I'm going to talk about the one and only R.D. Sharma. Now this is a book which I sort of recommend to people if they have time. What do I mean by time? So basically, if you are watching this video right now, and by that I mean in June, July or even August, then I guess you can solve this book, because it's a very big book, you know. It's a huge book. It has more than 1600 pages. It's bigger than the Lord of Rings series. It is bigger than Game of Thrones. It's a very big book. So if you don't have time, for example, if you are watching this video somewhere in November, December or even January, even February, then I don't recommend that you solve this book. Do not solve this book if you are watching 2 or 3 months away from the board exams. You won't have enough time. You won't be able to solve this entire humongous book, and at that time you're just wasting your time. What you need to do, if you are 4 or 3 months away from the board exams, they don't have much time left, the only thing I recommend at that point is you continuously solve the NCERT base book and the NCERT exemplar. You keep doing both of those, you at the very least get 85 to 90%, or maybe if you're lucky 95%. It can happen. Basically, if you have solved this book and the NCERT exemplar and the base NCERT, you've practically got more than 95% already, because the 10% hard questions which come from the board exams, which people say, oh, this wasn't in the NCERT, why has this come, those come from this book. So either the questions will be directly plucked from there, or the same question will be taken, as I said before, or some values are changed. Instead of 2 children there's 3, 4. Basically the method remains the same. Now I'm going to recommend another optional book for you if you do not want to solve the R.D. Sharma, because it is too long, and I sort of understand that, because solving this can be sometimes a little bit boring, because it's such huge and daunting task, because it's a huge book. And if you don't want to do that, then I suggest another optional book which is sort of easier and more fun to solve, I can say, and that book is You Like. Now I talked about this book before. If you want to learn more about it, the video will appear here. But You Like is, in my opinion, a sort of substitute to R.D. Sharma, a very well made substitute to R.D. Sharma. It has basically the most important questions from NCERT exemplar, and even from the R.D. It's not a huge book as compared to the R.D. Sharma, so it'll take less time to solve as compared to the R.D. Sharma. And after personally looking through this book, solving some of the questions, looking at its explanations, it's actually very well written. The solutions are easy to understand. Some questions which I thought I would not be able to understand at all, I was able to understand easily with this book. I would even say that its explanations are better than R.D. Sharma's. Not saying that R.D. Sharma's are bad, I just think that these are better. Of course, if you are going for mathematics basic, then you should get the basic edition of this book. But if you're going for standard, then the one which I have, you should go for that one. This is a very important point. This book also contains sample papers from the board exam. So basically, if you have done all the chapters, you know them, and you think and you're confident that you are able to solve most of the questions in the entire syllabus, that you've got so many sample papers to solve. Some of those have solutions, some of those don't. Overall, I think if you are scared to solve the R.D. Sharma, or just don't want to, and want some alternative which is better and easier than the R.D. Sharma, then You Like is where you should go. This is a very good book. And by the way, if you solve the base NCERT, the NCERT exemplar, whichever one you like, and the You Like, these 3 books, if you solve them, you are bound to get more than 95%, even without solving or completing the R.D. Sharma fully. These are very well made books, and these will help you a lot. Just solving the base NCERT gives you over 70%, solving the NCERT exemplar gives you 85 to 90%, and this one will surely get you over 95%. It basically gives you that extra edge which you need to become a topper. And that's it. Thank you for watching my videos. This is a different type of video which I usually don't make. Hopefully you guys liked it. Subscribe, like if you enjoyed my video, and goodbye.